So what I think you really saw in 2008 was a convergence of both the tech trends in the business, meaning that on the technology side, really I think seeing virtualization, the idea of shared hosting, cloud hosting, really become a viable product, which actually coincided with, from a business perspective, the economic downturn, which I think is forcing companies and forced companies to really reevaluate their budgets, reevaluate perhaps some of their beliefs around hosting or around shared infrastructure or virtualized infrastructure, and really basically take a look at how their back office infrastructure is working and is that the best use of their budget dollars. So in 2009, I think what the two ones you're going to really see are is the idea of the shared computing of the cloud. Virtualization is still going to continue a very dramatic uptick as far as where people are looking to save costs and get more power out of it. Software as a service is absolutely going to play a big part in 2009 as well. When we look at the competitive landscape now, of course, every day we're competing with the traditional dedicated hosting providers that we've always competed with. But when we look at the landscape and where it's going, we really do view Google, Amazon, and Microsoft as our biggest competitors and our biggest competitive threat. But we still believe, as from a company perspective, as well as what we've seen, others say in the IT field and tech field, is that cloud's not going to completely replace in-house hosting or dedicated hosting or the hosted model. There is going to be certain applications where you're always going to need to either run it yourself in-house or you're going to need that dedicated machine, and that's really going to be certain use cases where the cloud is going to be most effective for you, and it's going to actually allow you to look at your business and your infrastructure more from what are you trying to do and get out of your infrastructure versus just basically building out a lot of dedicated boxes and a lot of data center space. So I believe the hosting industry is actually uniquely positioned in this market to, I wouldn't say maybe grow or thrive, but to actually weather the downturn and perhaps come out stronger. What you're seeing is customers who wouldn't traditionally use hosting, and I'll use some of the financial services as an example, they're now asking the questions about hosting and outsourcing. They're looking for ways to leverage some of the advantages you get from hosting, such as flexibility, scalability, deferring some of your capital expenditures. So what you're seeing is actually companies and industries take an interest in hosting that wouldn't. Where you are seeing, I think, the downside of it is for customers who actually are hosting now, have realized the benefits of hosting, where traditionally or in the past during the times is that if they had new projects or new needs come on, they were looking to scale out rather rapidly. What you're seeing now is, or we're seeing as a company, is those customers now are trying to figure out how to make do with what they have. So from the customers who are currently in a hosting model, we're not seeing very much expansion of their business or expansion of their needs, but we are seeing interest from customers who have not traditionally looked at hosting as a solution. I really think with the emergence of cloud, virtualization, with people looking more at hosting, I think companies are going more to looking at an application usage model versus a one-size-fits-all for their IT needs. And I think these new emerging technologies and these trends for 2009 are actually finally giving them the choices and options to get that type of world-class performance from not only a bunch of different vendors, but also from a host of different applications and different ways to deliver those applications.